Hello, welcome back. It's good to have you guys here. Today we're going to talk about preparing for a job interview, preparation. One of the questions they will always ask you is tell me what you know about this company. Now, it is necessary to always do some research about the company before you go to any interview. It doesn't matter what position you're interviewing for, whether it's the VP of marketing or if it's a mailroom clerk. You should always know about the company or the business you're working for or you're going to work for. Has the company been in the news recently? Who are the people in the company that you should know about? Do the background work before you get there. And it may take a few hours to do the research, but it's worth every second you spend. And it will make you stand out as someone who comes prepared and is genuinely interested in the company and the job you're seeking. And don't just get information from the About Us page either. When you spend the time researching the company, you look at websites to understand the mission statement, the product offering, and the management team. Read the company's annual report, often it's posted on their website. Review the company's LinkedIn profile and search the company on Google News to see if there's been anything mentioned in the media lately. Another question they ask, and it's related to the information you're looking up. And why do you want to work for us? And it's related to your research as well. More likely than not, the interviewer wishes to see how much you know about the company culture and whether you can identify to the organization's values and visions. Every organization has its strong points, and these are the ones that should be highlighted in your answer. So that involves research. For example, if the company emphasizes integrity with customers, then you should mention that you would like to be in such a team because you yourself believe in the integrity as well. So never ever say I saw the job so I applied. A job is a job. You have to really show that you care, and so that is very important. Here's another related question to your research. How did you reach the decision that you wanted to change your job and work for us? Make time for detailed research of the company and the job they are offering. Your answer should encompass analysis of the company and the job attributes and the wide range of qualities that you bring to the table. In terms of competency, the interviewer is ensuring that you can make a well-informed and timely decision and that you perceive the impact and implications of the decisions you're going to be making. Here's another one, and it's all related to this. It's all related to your research. Why should we hire you? Now, this is a differentiation question. It tells them how you're different from the other candidates they want to hire. You want to tell them, hey, you guys would be crazy if you don't hire me today. Again, you're going to focus on them. You need to only share how you meet almost all the criteria they seek, but also have 2 or 3 additional attributes that they might not even know that they need yet. They need to know that you are a candidate who can not only meet the needs now, but also be valuable for where they want to be in the future. Are they likely to need another skill set as they grow with the company? Or maybe you noticed some of the skills or the job description that they're looking to fill in another job, and you'd fit that perfect because you have ability to do that. You can help out with these deliverables until they find somebody, or back up to be the backup for the person before they hire someone. Have you been down a path already that they're currently starting, or that they've already started? You having lessons learned to offer is a very strong plus for a job candidate. Now, all of these things we just talked about are related to the research phase. All 4 questions have to do with research. And now, that's why it's so important to know about research, and you have to spend that time on research. And then once you get to the interview, what are some of the questions they will ask you, and what are some good answers? Well, the first one they're probably always going to ask, and this is every time, just about every time, is tell me about yourself. The first thing to remember is to be friendly with the interviewer, as if you guys already know each other, if you're already working as a team together, and that makes things much easier to deal with. And this seems like an easy interview question, right? It's open-ended. You can talk about whatever you want from your birth forward, right? Wrong. Some people say, "Oh yeah, I was born in the northern part of the United States, and then I moved down to Florida, and blah 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 blah." They're talking about things that have no relation to what the job description is. And so, what the hiring manager really wants is a quick 2 or 3 minute snapshot of who you are and why you're the best candidate for this position. Talk about what you've done to prepare yourself to be the very best candidate for that position. Use an example or two to back it up. Maybe, perhaps you were at Clara's Way and you did a 6 month boot camp or a 9 month boot camp. That's what makes you qualified. You have degrees, you have certificates, you have things to show them. So that helps them see how qualified you are for the job. The second thing they may ask is, what is your greatest weakness? Now, what they're doing here is they're testing your emotional intelligence to see whether or not you're self-aware. You have to avoid cliches here. I'm sure most of us have been guilty of telling a job interviewer, "Oh, I'm extremely organized," or "I'm a perfectionist." Maybe you even bragged about that you're a hard worker as a weakness. Or maybe you're passionate about this company, even though they're selling watches, face cream, or insurance, whatever it might be. Please never use these cliches. You may think these answers paint you in a good light or a perfect candidate, but in actuality, these cliches the interviewers heard before. And they certainly don't help your chances of landing the job. You have to avoid these boring, rehearsed answers. So what do you say? Well, if it comes up, don't panic. What's important is to remember what the interviewers are looking for when they ask this question. This question is an opportunity to showcase how you tackle challenges and how you show different sides of your personality. Remember, to handle this, you minimize your weaknesses and emphasize your strengths. So show an employer what you've done to overcome it. When you mention a weakness or a work habit you need to improve on, the key thing is to show an employer what you've done to overcome that weakness. I had a lot of examples here, and we'll talk about them in another video, but definitely check out our other videos. But now remember this, stay away from personal qualities and concentrate on professional traits. When you do this, you show that you are aware of your weaknesses and what you've done to overcome them. It also shows how you are self-aware and that you have the ability to take steps to improve yourself. For example, let's say that in the past you were someone that took on too many tasks. Whether it was in university, whether it was at a job you took on too many tasks, and every time they went to hand you another task, whatever it might be, you said, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, I can do that." And that caused you to be behind, that caused you to miss your deadlines, and that's a real problem. So what you've done, you can say, what I've done is I've fixed that, I've made myself some charts, I've made myself some graphs, and I utilize those to help me understand that I only have a certain amount of time to do that. And it's helped me to realize that I have to say no. I cannot take on as many tasks as I thought I could. So with that realization, it's helped me to change how I deal with tasks today. So that's a great way to help you to understand how you can change, how you can do that. You've described the actions you took and the end result. Even if the results in the past weren't fantastic, it could be maybe, "Oh, you know what I've learned from this is blah, blah, blah." Or what I can do differently now that I have such an experience under my belt is this, blah, blah, blah. So that's a great way to answer that one. Another one that they could ask is, do you have any blind spots? Now, this is almost the same as, do you have any weaknesses? And this is a trick question. If you know you have blind spots, then they're no longer blind spots, right? So don't reveal any personal areas of concern here. Let them do their own discovery on your bad points. Do not hand it to them. Don't be too specific about your actual weaknesses, but instead try to bring out that you are very team-oriented. So try to answer something like this. I would say everyone has blind spots, and that is why I believe in teamwork, because when you're working with a team, you can point out other people's blind spots, and they can do the same for you. That's a great answer. Now let's go to another question they might ask, and it is, what is your greatest strength? This is your time to shine. Just remember, the interviewer is looking for work-related strengths. So mention a number of them, such as a good motivator, problem solver, performing well under pressure, being loyal, having a positive attitude, eager to learn, taking the initiative, attention to detail. But be careful. Again, avoid the cliches even here. Don't say anything about extremely organized, or you're a perfectionist, or you're a hard worker as a weakness or a strength, or that you're passionate about the company, blah, blah, blah. Wherever you go with on this, the most important thing to do is to be prepared to give example after example that illustrates your particular strength, your particular skill. Now here's something I found that is very effective, and that is to learn to tell stories. Tailor your story to the job. Applying your story to a specific employer or job is very helpful. Lining up stories that will apply to the opportunity at hand is crucial. Put yourself in the interviewer's shoes and pose the questions that you would ask him. Which stories are relevant to the job that you're interviewing for? Think about personal stories that show how you handled change, made choices under pressure, or learned lessons from the mistakes and failures you've made in the past. You should also think about stories you can tell in the interview that reveal your skill set. Learning and appreciating your story is a prerequisite to any interview process. Don't rely on your ability to think on your feet. Think about the questions you have prepared for and the answers or stories ready to go. Have them ready to go. In the end, it is about making a great, memorable impression that demonstrates competency and ability. And most of all, stories are easy to remember. So if you have a story for questions, you're gonna ace this interview. Anyway, thanks. Appreciate you guys. I hope you like that. It's another lesson in our careers. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. We look forward to more information. Have a great day. Ciao.